Mr. Shire, you don't know this, but I was dropping my wife. I was at the airport. I don't know, somehow his intuition picks up someone is in the pain. And I'm seeing off my wife and I'm really in the pain because now I have to manage kids and my petition. Exactly at the time where it's going to be more intensified. And he calls me and said, Rignesh, what's going on? Why are you rushing? And I opened up, this is my situation. And he said, I'm there with you. Don't worry about it. And he was there with me, for me, even after he was in that pain in Dallas, where he was up till 5 in the morning, whole night.
Congratulations, Rignesh, for becoming EB1 Achiever.
Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shire, for helping the Next League students.
That was my pleasure. My pleasure.
Wonderful. And as I can see that, Rignesh, your petition was one of the finest petitions that we have ever produced with the help of Mr. Shire. And I'm glad you have been the Next League student. For the benefit of all, Rignesh, to start off with, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My expertise is I'm a global tech expert in smart cities, smart infrastructure, parking technology, and smart transportation solutions. It's a little wide and long. The reason behind that is smart city is a huge domain in itself, and there has to be a niche which follows the expertise. That's my expertise. I provide technology solutions for an urban mobility, smart infrastructure needs.
Oh, wonderful. Now, when did you join the Next League program?
Precisely, I was checking my calendar today, and my joining date was 4th of March, but I officially started from 8th of March. That was my final joining date.
Among all the program participants in 2024, you have been the fastest. Because nobody after you has got so far, because most of the people who are getting right now EB1A would have joined in 2023. There were just 2 or 3 people who just recently got it. Otherwise, I think there's people who would have spent that. Congratulations for that.
Thank you so much.
Now, just to ask you a question, what made you join the Next League program as compared to other possible options that you might be considering at that point of time?
I did a very due diligence and a huge study before I joined the program. In 2023, my wife introduced me to your comment in one of the Facebook group. And you were said about it's not about directly going and getting if you have papers and patents or not. Then I stumbled upon your calendar and it strictly said, if you're serious, then only please block the time or don't waste anybody's time. And I said, well, he is correct because I don't know about EB1A. Then around November, I got one immigration book that explained about different categories of visa, EB1A and O1A, EB1NIW, EB1A, O1A were explained in the book. That's how I learned that at least I can fulfill 2 or 3 criteria over there, but I just don't know how to put things together and who should be coaching me. After that, around February, I reached out to Next League, and there was one more program that I reached out over there. And then it came for a trade of war for me, that what is the trade I should be looking for. Over there, a lot of things became very clear for me. If I have to be Next League, if I'm investing into it, where should I be investing? Should I be doing only EB1A or focus on Next League? Your posters were very clear about you are not only giving help and support for Next League, you are there for someone to be really a Next League, right? EB1A is part of the journey, but you can be Next League person over there. That was the first thing. Second thing, your credentials, Ranjit. Lot of work that you have done, the associations. I also told this to you that one of the posts about your association with Dalai Lama and all, those were no brainer for me to make a decision that I'm getting a coach and also EB1A, I should be going towards it. Frankly, I joined the coaching institute rather than only focusing on EB1A. During that coaching program, I told this to Ranjit also, and Mr. Shah, I didn't discuss this with you. I went to a branding agency and company to do a branding for myself. I got myself delayed by 3 to 4 weeks to get my own personal branding done about what is my true branding. And even in that companies, they are only doing brandings for the world leaders and tech entrepreneurs. Tech entrepreneurs are coming every single day. You'll find new entrepreneurs coming in. They use Ranjit's document to produce good branding for me. Obviously, branding is marketing and all, but Mind Valley exercise, identifying your skill sets and all, those were the basic ingredients they have used to produce my expertise. From there, I never looked back. Means it was a validation about Next League program, Ranjit's expertise, and all the help and support I would need to achieve EB1A. And obviously, EB1A was not the only thing I joined for. There were a lot of parameters that came out, and I believe in this. that having a right coach is very important. Even in my professional life, I have mentors who is helping me to do a good job, to do a better job. And Ranjit invariably became that coach for me. And it was a lot of initial pressure for me because I was not able to talk to him. He will not be available on the call. He will not be spending too much time with me over there. But it was the other way around feeling all right. He was not leaving me at all when I was in final phase of the petition drafting. All of that, whatever I thought that where I'm going, with whom I'm talking, with whom I'm getting coached, became true, and it became a validation of why did I select the next league program. These were the overall thought process. And yes, I came with a lot of homework and research before I started with next league program.
Wonderful. And let us say on the scale of 1 to 10, how confident were you about EB1A versus at what stage or what point you realized that now it was matter of time and then you had Mr. Shire as your attorney?
I was never confident I will get EB1A. Let me be very honest with you. I was never confident because I'm having good salary, or maybe I'm having a critical role. I have done original contribution. I was only convinced once I started using the Madhulkar matrix because it was invariably coming out that yes, I'm ticking the boxes. This is really an original contribution. How do you say it's an original contribution? I know that I have done original work. How do you go and prove to USCIS? Frankly, I was absolutely not at all confident that I will get EB1A. It was a blind shot for me over there. And one thing which I think Nextleak does very beautifully is on your first introduction, they will ask you, what is your motive of joining the program? My motive was freedom. Freedom for myself, freedom for my family. My son would be hitting 16. And I was worried that if he crosses the deadline, at least he will get into that cycle, which I should be trying from my side.
EB2 got approved.
Yes, I got my EB2 also.
What is your priority date for EB2?
20th July 2023.
Oh, wonderful. 20th July. What's the current priority date going on?
I think it's
Wonderful.
April 22.
I think maybe 1 or 2 years it will happen, possibly.
Correct, sir.
So at
Correct,
least you
sir.
have an advantage, and 2 years, most of the people were getting approved because of your past priority date.
I'm going to finish what I started over there. Joining Next League, participating in Next League, after I was always willing to talk myself as a smart city expert. But having that expertise session with Ranjit, where he takes you through the entire journey of what is your true expertise and what do you think you believe in it, he connected the dot, which I was very confused with. That dot connection put me on a very fast track mode. After that session, I never looked back. Till then, it was a doubt. Magical moment, and I did share this with Shire, but I never shared this with you, Ranjit, on this. I reached out to 3 lawyers. Shire was the first to immediately respond. I have shared the entire set which we do with Paula's session with Shire. My Excel file, my presentation, my website that I've created, I've sent everything to him. On the first call, within 2 days, he is available for the call. On the first call itself, he says, Rignesh, your case would be approved. Just follow the process that I will give you. On the first call itself, he gave me assurance your case would be approved. And he says, when you want to start? I said, immediately. He said, I can start working with you tomorrow. I made the first commitment from my side within 2 hours. And the next day, he sent me a bunch of documents. This is what you have to do. And then the third day, he is available on the call. The day I had a first call with him, my heart felt like 1,000 kilos of stone has been lifted from my heart. I felt relieved. It was a magical moment, a spiritual moment, a magical moment for me. I felt that I'm working with the right person who is going to collaborate. And he also asked that, are you going to have Ranjit's involvement also? Do you want Ranjit to be involved in the petitioning process? I said, absolutely, yes. The whole reason I'm doing this is because of him. I don't want him to be excluded over there. And he agreed for your involvement. From there, the entire magical moment started. And even as of today morning, I was having a doubt, oh my God, would I be approved or there will be some other way around decisions or not? Because once you get to a point where you file your petition, you don't know the answer. And now suddenly it's taking a 14th, 15th day after filing, maybe not a business day, but total, you start getting into doubts. I was having doubts even today morning.
To the best of my understanding, it is a matter of logistics. And even the timeline, once you say 15 days, you went for a premium processing, whether it is a first day, we had only one person, Mr. Shire, just to put a case in point for you. The person got an IOE number and approval within 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then he sent an application like to Nebraska. Today, if he has sent it, next day at 11 o'clock, we get a IOA number. By 2 o'clock, it's approved, which has been the so far fastest. But still, I would say, Rignesh, that has no bearing on that. It depends on the case. 15 days, there is no point. But yes, I can understand the anxiety everybody goes through that. I'm going to talk about the petition and something, but just let me just create a pre-frame for that first before. That was my logical question. If you had not joined the Next League program, do you think you would have got EB1A? If yes, how much time more you would have taken?
No, I never thought of alternative process, Ranjit. And let me be very honest with you, sir, on this. I never thought of alternative process. I never tried going and asking what programs you are working, with which lawyers you are working. I have never asked to anybody. I had a trust and faith in you, and you said, I will work with you to ensure that you will get it. Shire came in as a lawyer saying that I will ensure that you will pass through all the thing. That's it. If I would not have been in Next League program, I would not have gone for EB1A. As simple as that.
Oh, that's very nice and noble. I personally feel very privileged, Rignesh, for people like you. You are the 31st achiever in the last 1 year to get this whole coveted Einstein visa and green card. I feel privileged because there is a lot of meritorious disposition in you by default, by very fact that you came to us. After that, I've seen your profile, the wonderful work that you do. Anything that surprised you or your experience working in the program with me?
I became a different person working with you. It's not surprise. It's a new Rignesh now. I'm really enjoying myself right now. The best thing I learned working with Ranjit is resilience. I thought that I have a good resilience, but he surpassed the benchmark of resilience. And when I have to work with him, he became that tireless motivation and inspiration for me. I believe my resilience is now 300% to what I had before joining the Next Day program.
Thanks, Mr. Shah. Well, let me get to petition with you that there are a lot of innovations we have tried. And I would like to have more from a legal jurisprudence perspective. We will go item by item. Of course, Rignesh holds a very beautiful profile. Also, the first thing is he's another successful case where the Next League has sponsored him. That becomes another testimony for the Next Leagues as an institutional credibility gets ratified, established, and recognized by USCIS. That's the first thing, of course. The second thing is we are experimentation. It has been a more of an experimentation model from an evidence perspective, which is creating recommendation that letters are mandatory for EB1A, which many people do it. And we created an AI persona and we got it ratified from Department of State. Then we have given all the due diligence. We got it ratified from an AI expert. And then the persona has been vetted and approved by Department of State. Then we gave it to USCIS. How would you see USCIS outlook on such situations which are very innovative and let's use the word cutting edge in EB1A jurisprudence or a legal jurisprudence, because this is like touching the frontiers of the legal aspect of it, how the evidence are structured and what happens in EB1A at administrative proceedings and even judicial proceedings. How would you look at his case from that perspective?
The innovative idea that we've been using is this AI persona. And I think the cutting edge aspect is using AI in multiple aspects in a petition, right? I'm sure people use it to help draft letters for individuals, but what we are doing here with these AI personas is creating personalities or using personalities, existing people, and getting their opinions about something. For example, Leonardo da Vinci, Einstein, these are people in the past that we have a lot of information about. And the goal is to create a bot that represents that individual's ideas, thoughts, and beliefs, right? And then getting a letter from them and then presenting that to USCIS as a opinion letter or recommendation letter for the individual that we asked about. The legal field will have to face these issues no matter what when it comes to how AI is used. This is one of the aspects that we are using it for. And one of the most important things I got to mention, though, is that when we make final decisions or we use something in the law, we like to have precedent, right? We like to have something that has authority. That's what you use to make legal conclusions. We have to have some type of authority, something that has weight. And the more we do these cutting edge things and we get positive results, that is the authority that we need, the weight that we need to further do actions like this, right? There have been multiple innovative things that I've done with you, Mr. Ranjit, and each one of those I push back against you quite hard because of the need for precedent. And one of the things that excites me when we get cases that Next League is the petitioner for. We use the probability document, we use the AI persona. These are innovative things out of Next League. When we use those and then when we get an approved petition, that furthers my personal conviction in these items because they are included in the petitions. We don't get RFE like, oh, why did you send this? Or a denial because we sent it. No, it is a part of the packet. It's a part of the legal argument, specifically in regards to like the Bayesian analysis. That's something we've incorporated into legal argument to have some hard numbers, right? There's no hard numbers in the law, right? It's not objective. There are subjective opinions of the individuals who are reviewing. The officers have subjective opinions. Try to bring some objectivity to the idea and to the process is always a good thing. And that's something the probability document does. And this AI persona also aims for that same thing where we want some type of objective review to make that legal conclusion.
I think we had unique thing also. Obviously, we have seen 8 to 10 Bayesian analysis, the probabilistic analysis of every piece of evidence that we are giving. It meets the preponderance of evidence. Second is about that AI persona, which is unique thing. Then we also have a salary expert opinion letter. And in his case, it was something very unique. If you remember, Mr. Shah, that he draws some income from India. We converted that into not really into US dollars, but straight away did a purchasing power parity, combined it together, and then created another calculation. And his salary was compared, putting both. Part of it was derived out of the purchasing power parity, and the part of it was the actual dollar amount and combining together. It was very creative and innovative. Mr. Shah, I just have thought many people believe that USCIS is very rigid in immigration matters or in terms of adjudication. Frankly speaking, working with you and working with few other select lawyers, which I have seen that USCIS has been pretty tolerant, if I may use the word, and acceptance in lot, because this is a cutting edge innovation that we are trying, which I'm not sure whether it has ever been tried before.
I completely agree. And this also has to do with some of the Supreme Court cases that have happened in the past year in regards to degrading the authority of the agencies. Internally within the agencies, there's not as much authority that they have, right? It's between the courts and the Congress now where there's something as simple as a policy manual or the policy guidances that the department gives, like Department of Homeland Security. Regularly, the department head gives out guidances and makes new rules. All these things are going to be challenged soon, and that internally USCIS has maybe already come to terms with these new laws where they acknowledge the fact that they need to focus on the language in the statute and not created rules by the department. That does allow more flexibility because when you're interpreting a statute, the subjective opinion of the officer is what's going to be interpreting it. Does this piece of evidence qualify under this statute, right? There's not something in the middle, like the rules or the guidances or the manuals. The manuals probably would stay, but rules and memos that come from the department head probably slow down, probably won't have any in the future as much as we've had in the past. This is going to be strictly courts and the legislation.
So, Shah, there are two aspects to it. The first is, I think, the creativity aspect of it. I think we did mention about all the Supreme Court cases and how USCIS respectfully, and we mentioned it very respectfully, and how the Supreme Court recent cases should be honored. And the whole adjudication should be looked upon from the lens of those jurisprudence which has already taken place. Now, having said this, when we coming back to the AI persona, let us also respect and appreciate the Department of State, because USCIS would come under Department of Homeland Security, but Department of State recognizing the AI persona, and we did say the deponent, in his case, it was Walt Disney. It was Department of State which recognized it, and that recognition, we took it to the Department of Homeland Security. Just hypothetically, how does this look like to you? It is not just an ordinary mere affidavit or a notarization that we are doing on a piece of paper, but a complete federal body, not only a body, it's a federal department recognizing it and taking it to USCIS. How does this strategy look to you?
Yeah, again, that ties into what I was talking about earlier in terms of precedent and authority. Specifically, how do we give these personas and the process in which we created them some type of authority, some type of precedent in terms of why we can use them? Well, when you create a chain of authenticity, if you authenticate the process, as we did through the Department of State, we also created a guardianship relationship over these personas. These are essential for creating that precedent and that authority for it to have weight. And the process was necessary. We had to use a process. I was very surprised and happy about the type of response that we got in terms of the Department of State and their interest in it. They're surprised about it and their curiosity and their encouragement. Those things were very positive in terms of accepting this into a petition.
No, that's wonderful. I'm not sure from a legal perspective how it works. Since NextLeague is a petitioner in this particular case and we have been innovative in these particular cases, can we quote these innovations, let us say AI persona acceptance by USCIS in subsequent evidence saying that, oh fine, there has been a precedence of acceptance by USCIS as an administrative processings, and this might be considered because the other cases may be similar. Is that permitted under law, or is it the discretion purely on the officer?
Here, I would say it is discretionary when it comes to the officer and what type of decision they're going to make. And the idea is that as long that we don't get a rejection or specific language against it, we can still use it. And that's what we're looking for, is that there hasn't been any explicit denial or rejection of these things. Only acceptance, honestly. I have every one of the cases that I've used them in so far has been approved.
Absolutely. So, even NextLeague serving as a talent agency more than just a coaching agency has been used and has been successfully recognized. And then there were layers and layers. Our whole strategy was not only present a profile in a very persuasive manner, but also possibly in a very tough manner from a legal jurisprudence, make it difficult for USCIS to reject it outrightly.
I think what you're doing with NextLeague in terms of being a petitioner, being an agent, doing these things is making NextLeague a lot bigger than just getting people ready for filing an EB1A coaching. Rignesh definitely touched on this in terms of how you've impacted him personally, impacted his life, and how the NextLeague process isn't just for the EB1A, it's for you. You've developed something bigger than that.
Rignesh, a question for you here. Be very frank and fair to do it. We have seen that if people go to any traditional lawyer, they would do it from a profiling perspective. They would file application criteria, FMDs, final merit, sustained, acclaim, totality. That's the strategy. But yours was a very unique and in some parts AI thing and other matters, if I may use the word experimental. Let's admit that. And you were not just happy, but you were more than enthusiastic to do that. That truly makes you extraordinary trying innovation, because I personally always feel that somebody who is extraordinary in his own right needs to be that risk-taking also. Let me put it that way in a very humble way. You need to be little innovative, creative, and push the boundaries. If you cannot push the boundaries, you are not extraordinary. That's the difference between exceptional and extraordinary. Here it comes. An extraordinary person will always learn to push the boundaries. What made you choose this path in spite of the fact that there could have been, let us assume, a potential 0.001% risk rather than going in a very straightforward path? Let me just go to a simple petition and go for criteria and FMDs and sustained acclaim and totality. I mean, that's the way traditionally 100% of the people would go, and you have been from that perspective. I cannot say for others. Whatever I have studied over 1,000 cases in EB1A, from AOs, from rejection, I can tell you that this was one of the most finest cases and very strong cases that we built up from legal. What made you accept the suggestions also that were presented to you? Everything, let us say Bayesian analysis, AI persona, then we talk of lot other things that what we have done. What made you accept these suggestions and proceed with this?
Your question had an answer. Let me put it this way. You answered your own question saying that pushing the boundaries. And if I'm a truly extraordinary person, I would accept and believe in it. That's what my whole 20 years of journey has been. I have been always into an uncomfortable zone. I will start with that. And I have seen the results of being into uncomfortable zone. And yes, it sometimes comes and hurts you very hard over there, but that's a big lesson which you will learn. Now, why did I take it? I had backing from you about what innovative we are trying, but very importantly, backing from the attorney, where they would be very happy to introduce an innovative way of bringing few things together. It's a two-way sword you want to introduce, that you always hit it hard and you ensure that what you are aiming for, you achieve it. It was a big surprise for me when it came as an introduction, especially for the AI persona. For Bayesian analysis, salary document, it was proven there were some successful cases. Nothing stops in using the success stories over there. As I said, I always love to believe in the coach. And you said that, Rignesh, this will make your case stronger. The only word I have to believe is you said it. that it will make it stronger, I will have to just accept it, because as I accepted you as a coach, my duty is to follow the instructions coming to me. When I was discussing with Shire, he was more than happy and open to accept the recommendations coming from your side. And that became a no-brainer for me, because then you have the attorney support, you have the coach support, and what is required for me to make a decision to go forward with it. And I always believe that when few extraordinary people sit together and give you suggestions, you have to just believe into it, because you are not and they are. That was the one thing. For AI person, I did talk very lightly to Ranjit about this, Mr. Shah, but I will give you a very different perspective of it. There is a new vertical coming out called digital twins. Digital twin in itself is a market where you replicate the physical persona to the digital world. You can do experimentations, you can do multiple use cases, you can try to run the stories. Smart cities are adapting digital twins left, right, and center. From being little greedy also from my domain perspective, saying that if a digital twin is to be accepted, you are trying to replicate a city, a town, a municipality, a parking location, a parking infrastructure, a smart transportation network where you want the buses to come, alight, and depart over there. This is a similar experiment that would happen from the AI persona perspective, where a digital avatar of a known personality would be introduced in the experimentation. How can I be sure about my digital twin working very good? And is it legally correct as well? That experimentation I always wanted to do. And when Ranjit proposed it, I cannot say no to it, because I was very much tempted towards it. How to get it done? I don't know. Is it going to be very risky? Absolutely yes. Rajit never said he's 100% sure. He said, yes, we are trying our best. But what I think he did working with you is he gave multiple layers of shields, right? You have layer number one, layer number two, and then getting it signed from the Department of State, and then putting it the legal case laws surrounding over there to ensure they became ironclad. When the AI persona went out, just being a persona, it became an ironclad entity where now you will have to work hard to prove that this entity is not true towards it. And that was the no-brainer activity for me. All of this happening while he is in India, he's battling between his personal and whatever he has committed to me. And obviously committed to other students also, but he committed to me that we will ensure that we'll pass through it. It was just a matter for me to say yes towards it. If I will not take a risk, I will not take a chance, I don't think I would have done justice to my entire petition. After that, whatever he came and suggested, Rignesh, you should have it in this petition. Okay, let's do it. Rignesh, you should add this in your petition. Okay, let's do it. The whole intent was, how can I make it more persuasive? I wanted to ensure that my petition is persuasive. I can get, yes, normal three criteria approved, final merit determination, national interest over there. That would have been a good job. Yes, but my whole goal was to be a next league. How would I be next day if I would not try? That's what Ranjit picked up, that I would be happy to run the experimentation. Once he knew that I'm okay with it, it just started coming in and I started loving it. It was painful because you have to do a lot of documentation. It's new in its country. You have to go through the innovative process. You don't have examples to go and refer to. You have to believe in it, do your own homework, do your own research. That gave me a lot of satisfaction, because that is original me, doing homework, doing research, taking some new initiative, participating into it. And I was in a Diwali meeting with one of my previous CEO, and he said, "Hey, Trish, what are you doing new?" I said, "I get bored after doing few things repetitively. I get really bored with it." Ranjit ensured that I was never even bored for a single second. He was just pushing things, and I cannot say no to it because that's me. Something new, innovative, creative coming in. It was just matter of time. I battled with time. It was a time battle for me to finish it up over there, but here I am.
No, no, that's wonderful. Today you have become EB1 achiever. There is one more thing unique about your case, though we have done that before also. It is your media category. We highlighted in a very persuasive manner and introduced the quantitative metrics into that, which was something very unique in the media, which initially I know you were reluctant to try that out. Not try, but for the category, we used it for your final merit determination. Our totality, we put that argument. And that was also quantification. Rignesh, being coming from the scientific temperament and being a student of statistics myself, I always felt that something that you can create metrics upon for and give numbers to something that always helps. So it was a matter of finding your petition, and obviously the petitions for people in the program have been evolving at different stages. Maybe after every 2 months, something new has come up. And as of now, whatever is the program, what it stands for, your petition is a perfect manifestation and personification of that. And you are a personification of this, and your petition is a perfect manifestation of the entire program A to Z. It means that you pick up anything from the program today, that thing would be there in your petition. Am I right?
Yes, sir. And the reason behind not picking AVA letter was I was tired and I was battling with the time because I have to be in India with my daughter, and it was a little bit of family struggle for me. Because of the tiredness, I gave up. Ranjit, he would never give up on the first instance. He would come up with a different thought process that it is making sense. Now I'm reaping fruits of that. Because of that article being picked up by German smart cities over there, a smart city council who is there in 70 countries, they picked up the same article to publish in their newsletter. Because of that, the co-founder of Forbes, Ryan Pogg, he personally reached out to me on my LinkedIn saying that Rignesh, I'm putting that article in Forbes newsletter. Before 3 days, that got published in Forbes newsletter as well over there. Though it was a Forbes article, but he gave that as a very special mention in the Forbes article as one of the pulses news coming out over there. I'm just ripping benefit, and that all happened because of AV letter. Rachna did dig out a lot of things for me, which I would personally never have been able to dig it up.
Yeah, incidentally, while we were digging about his media, we found out that the German government had quoted him in some good work that he has been doing.
Wow.
That was at the last minute, I think 10 days before his filing his petition, we had identified and then we plugged that into his aspect. Now, Rignesh, of course, you have said a very kind word, but just on to put things on record, what has been your experience working with Mr. Shire specifically?
I have been talking to many people, even directly with Mr. Shire. Let me give you very close to my heart incident that happened. Mr. Shire is struggling with the hurricane problems. He is out of battery. He is out of connection. I did send him a message because obviously you are working with an attorney and that attorney is in an area which is affected over there, right? You will feel little worried about it from the two angles. Number one, as a human, it becomes your duty to check with whom you're working. Number two, he's my attorney, man. What's going to happen with my petition, right? From that perspective, I reached out to him. I don't know what would have been his situation, but as soon as he got the power supply, I think it was like 10:30 or 11 in the night, he messaged me that Rignesh, I'm safe. Everything is fine. We should be back to the normal routine as soon as possible. If you need, I can be on a call whenever you want me to. I have never seen an attorney being personal ever. Number two, everybody has a lot of challenges with their attorneys. I got 12 letter of recommendations completely redrafted from Shire coming to me. When I submitted my evidences, whatever I committed, I said, Shire, I will take 10 days to submit you my all the evidences in a structure that you have given me. He took the time to go through a lot of, I would not say all evidence because it's not fair. It's too many evidences for anybody to go through over there. But he went through most of my evidences before he said, okay, now I'm fine, whatever you have given to me. He committed to me that Rignesh, your first draft would be out by last week of August. I was having my first draft on 23rd August. And I told Mr. Shire that I'm not going to share this with Ranjit because I know what are his standards and what he will ask me to do. I had 3 different rounds with Mr. Shire before that petition was presented to you, sir. And he was absolutely fine with that because he became more collaborative with me than being an attorney with me. If I approached him with my thought process, then my storytelling is I want to go with the original contribution. Because of the original contribution, actually my critical role happened. It's not the other way around. He accepted that story and he allowed me to ensure that I'm putting that evidences and the petition together in the same storytelling itself. Attorney agreeing to your storytelling, agreeing to your edits over there, it's like a friend working with you hand in hand. I never felt him as an attorney. He was a very big brother and a friend to me in the entire process. Even while we are filing, he's holding the bags of petition. I'd never felt like such a huge attorney is with me and he's holding the bags with me. And now he's opening the box and putting those beans and then pushing it hard over there. He's saying, Rignesh, you stand aside, let me do this for you. I felt privileged working with him. When I was narrating about other stories that I have done this, I have done this. Why didn't you say this to me? I would have added in the petition. Don't worry about the time. We would have extended timeline by 1 more month. He is okay with that. I was not okay with that because I was running under personal pressure to finish it up. He was fine with adding more stuff to it. That was like a big shocker to me that he's still open while I'm in the Dallas. I'm ready to file. Ranjit is signing over there. He still wants to extend it if I want to add it. For me, I have never tried any lawyers. It's going to be a lifelong benchmark that what a good lawyer can be working with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shire, for helping the Next League students. I know you have been a wonderful human being, a wonderful lawyer, and a wonderful person to be with. Thank you very much. And thanks, Rignesh, for your kind words.
Thank you.
Now, Rignesh, as we come to end to this whole discussion, let's look at it. How long you have been in the US now?
6 years.
6 years you have been. There are people who have been there more than a decade also. And they have been on H1B or waiting for their priority dates or with EB2 and to be current and everything. Because there are total 1.5 million people waiting on their green card or trying to seek US immigration on EB2s or something. Most of them are from India. And they feel that, oh, this EB1A is not for me. What's your message to them?
I think if you are truly genuine with your work, EB1A is for you. As simple as that. If it's your 5 years of being into US, if you're 15 years of being into US, if you're 25 years of being into US, doesn't matter. If you're genuine with your work, you have done some work, EB1A can definitely be your forte. But I believe that if your preparation is, you should definitely go for EB1A.
Wonderful. Now, here comes another question. People who decide, okay, I have decided I want to go for EB1A. Now, some people have short-sightedness. Let's me put it in a very direct manner. Okay, let us understand. They look for lawyer shopping. They look for court shopping. I even had Mr. Shire on a lighter vein. Somebody coming to one of my sales associate, director of admissions, and saying that, oh, you charge X amount for EB1A for the coaching. And there are only 3 criteria required. And I need 2 criteria only. For 1 criteria, why should I pay you much? You should charge me 1/3 of that. There is no discussion for this thing, no debate, because there is a lot of personal evolution required. And I told my director of admissions that, Megan, fine, let us leave that person. It is going to take a huge amount of personal evolution for that person to reach a stage where we understand. So that's one part. But nevertheless, Rignesh, there are some people who think about money part. They think this is not for me. Should I really join the program? Should I spend so much of money? But I personally feel that they should always try there once. Because apart from the monetary part and putting the efforts, something they will always benefit. What's your message to those people?
Yeah, I think money is the outcome of your work. It is never the first thing. I did talk to a lot of people, and I was talking to my wife also, and we had a mutual agreement on this. You do a lot of hard work to invest in your company's project. You work weekends, weekdays, late nights. Sometimes you are not being paid for those work because it becomes your ethical duty to be obligated and fulfilled. When it comes to you yourself, why can't you invest in yourself? That's my first question to whosoever has this question about investing. When it's a time to invest in yourself, maybe you want to delay buying a property. And on a lighter note, I did talk to Ranjit also. I have to delay buying a home after struggling for 2 years, winning the bid, and then I have to delay it because I decided to invest. This investment was for myself, for my family. Number one, investment always comes first. If you invest in yourself, the fruits would come later, but in a very compounded, exponential way. My message is there for someone. If you stop looking at your dollar amount, invest in yourself, become a true next league. Next league is part of me, and it would be there till the day I die because I'm now a next league, right? Next league program is a company which Ranjit has started, an institution which he has started, but I became a next league. I really became a next version of myself over there. If you want to become a next league, that means you're investing into yourself. You cannot keep on looking at the dollar amount. Yes, you might have an upper cap. Everybody doesn't have an endless money over there. But when it comes to investing in yourself and what are the deltas in yourself and what a next version, what maybe an extraordinary person needs, investing is not a bad investment. And I come from the community where we do a lot of businesses over there. Once you invest, nature has a funny way of giving you back in a very exponential way. You just have to believe in the process. I used to laugh this with Shreya saying that, okay, this is my expense looking for this, but I know that I'm going to get 2, 3, 4 assignments and I will cover this amount from those assignments.
No, Rignesh, as I said, that not only from your petition perspective, your petition is a perfect manifestation of what the program is. And you, not only as an EB1 achiever, but also as a human being and as with your humility, you are a perfect manifestation of, or rather personification of what Next League stands for and what I proudly feel today that why I started this program. It was essentially for people like you, and you have made me and Mr. Shire really proud of you. And congratulations and God bless you, really. So, anything else, Mr. Chan?
I just wanted to say, Rignesh, it was an honor to work with you throughout this entire process. You're an exceptional, extraordinary person, just individually, and your work and your professional career is a testament to that. I've met a lot of people who want to file for EB1A. There's an intuition that might be developed, I guess. When you meet someone, there's a personality there is a type of personality and confidence that is necessary to do this, to file for EB1A. It's not for everybody, right? Because it is meant for extraordinary people. And you do have to embody that and express that. And I would say, Rignesh, of all the people that I've come across, you're one of the most extraordinary people, and it's been an honor working with you. And Mr. Ranjit, your students are 3 steps above most of the people that I've worked with that don't do the next league process. There's a mentality that's needed. There's some type of rigor that is needed, and you give that to your students.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not hijack, but I want to put 3 points over here. What Mr. Shire said is a true testament for next league, that why it is not for everybody. For it to be for everybody, they have to be part of next league. And I truly believe in that, because that's where they become that extraordinary person, and that delta in them is being fulfilled through next league program. Number 2, and it's a funny part of it, nowadays, wherever I read exceptional, I feel bad about it, because I have to say it's extraordinary. It has been now induced into me somehow. Wherever I read in newspaper an article, exception, no, it has to be extraordinary over there. Its exception is not allowed. And that has become now part of me. I try to translate everything to an extraordinary word over there. And in this entire journey, this is like climbing the Mount Everest. Now you are on the Mount Everest, you are standing over there, and you have proved to the world that you are something. I would truly say that's because of Next Leap program, because of Ranjit. Mr. Shire, you don't know this, but I was dropping my wife. I was at the airport. I don't know, somehow his intuition picks up someone is in the pain. And I'm seeing off my wife, and I'm really in the pain because now I have to manage kids and my petition. Exactly at the time where it's going to be more intensified. And he calls me and said, Rignesh, what's going on? Why are you rushing? And I opened up, this is my situation. And he said, I'm there with you. Don't worry about it. And he was there with me, for me, even after he was in that pain in Dallas, where he was up till 5 in the morning, whole night. And his entire strategy was at a question. He came with a strategy of an attack, and he has a way of working over there. Obviously, you had a backing, but his entire way of working is very unique and very different. And then he decides that, okay, what, Rignesh, do hell with the strategy, I'm going to support you. Because of that one word on the 6th October, he called me and told me he was still being ready to let go his strategy to ensure that he supports me. These are all lifelong stamps on my heart which will remain with me.
Wonderful, Rignesh. We are very proud of you. And congratulations once again. And thank you very much, Mr. Shire.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.